All right. Hello, world.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, yep. Hello. Hi, Ashlyn. Oh, hello, hello, hello. All right, awesome. We have 1 and 1, so we can begin. One little sheep on Instagram and one little sheep on Facebook. Perfect.
It's a quartet.
It's a quartet. It's 4 of us. All right, my friends. So it is Monday. Oh. How are you doing?
Great.
How was your day?
Productive.
Busy?
Yes.
Okay. My day was productive. I wouldn't necessarily say that. It was also not particularly busy. Only it was very loaded with the word mommy. It was mommy. I felt, there's that one skit from not Saturday Night Live. Stewie, Family Guy. Yeah, Family Guy. When Stewie goes like, mommy. That's kind of what it was like today. Because Misha and I were sitting next to each other, like he was on his computer over here and I was on my computer over here. And then every 30 seconds he would turn to me and he would be like, mommy, look at this. And then mommy, look at this. And I'm like, but can you dial down the mommy situation over there? Because I am right next to you. So that's kind of funny. But other than that, it is a gorgeous day. It is so beautiful here in Florida. The temperature is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It's just great. It's not cold, it's not hot by any means. It's on the cooler side for us here in Florida anyway. Alright, so let's yin. Monday we yin. I'm trying to come up with all of these new hashtags. So if you guys have any suggestions, Ashlyn, I'm expecting a flurry of hashtags coming my way. But Monday we yin, I think it's a good one. I like it. Monday we yin, and then we meditate right after that. So don't go away. I'm not worried about the Facebook people because that's running, but the yin people have a tendency to skip. I really wish Instagram would give me 15 more minutes. That would be really great.
Can you ask? They'd be like, sure.
I'm sure I can ask them, but I don't know if it's gonna do anything. But I can certainly ask them, that's for sure. Alright, we are on the weekly schedule with the 425 playlist called Time Rider, which I'm very personally fond of. I love that playlist. So do tell me at some point, you guys, what is your favorite song from that playlist? I think I have my favorite from that playlist. So maybe we can make top 3. Make a little poll. Ooh, I should do that. I'm gonna make a poll. Top 3 songs from each playlist.
Good idea.
That'll be a good interaction. Okay, I'm gonna start it. 3, 2, 1, now. And if you find your sits bones, take a moment. Arrive at your mat. A little scanning through the body. Notice what the day has left you. Hopefully your work day is over or close to be, or mostly over. Or maybe you're still on the clock for the last 30 minutes. You're pretending to work, working from home. Establishing your space, just take a moment, settle in. Almost always in a regular class I try to start in with a little bit of a quiet time to truly be able to establish the space. Monday, new week, arriving on your mat exactly as you are. This is week number 7 of no work for me. Working from home, working from my porch for me. Just watch the breath for a moment. Try to soften a little bit through the body. Engagement through the belly. Soft through the eyes. Inside of your mouth. Again, if you have an opportunity to practice outside, absolutely try to take advantage of that. It is so nice. Right cheek drops down off to the right shoulder. Pause there. Again, we are in Yin today, so we're moving in a super snail speed. Leaning into gravity, allowing to get ourselves into connective tissue, fascia, myofascia. All requires time. Very slowly, chin drops forward in towards the chest. As you move your head, pay close attention to the sensations through the body. Allow yourself to inhale into the back of the neck, into the back of your lungs. Exhale right there. One more inhale directly into the back of the neck. Exhale, slowly start towards the other side. Left cheek is going to drop off towards the left shoulder. Releasing the head there. Put some weight into your right shoulder. Make sure you're not leaning all the way into the left side. Your body is still evenly sitting on both sits bones. Right shoulder is pulling down towards the earth. Left cheek dropping off to the left shoulder, really, really long through the right side of the neck. Open through the collarbones, engage through the core, midsection in. Hands heavy on wherever you have them, top of your knees or top of your thighs. Soften through the fingers. Be alert, stay alert. Chin drops forward, back in towards the chest. Again, inhale into the back of the neck, into the back of the lungs. Imagine you're gonna grow wings out of the back of your lungs with your breath. Eyes are soft or closed. And then slowly lifting your head up to neutral. Uncrossing the legs, extending them forward. Oh, straight legs. Imagine that. Flex the feet just for a moment. Really connect the sits bones into the mat. Take the flesh out of the way. A little bit of a the chest here. Pull the navel in, chin tucked in slightly, back of the head open, crown of the head reaching up. Inhale, arms reach up. I almost always like to start with forward fold of some kind. Today we're just gonna go straight there. Hinging at the waist, reaching with the chest. Slowly, slowly the hands find the shins, the ankles, or the feet. Take a moment here, engage through the arms, lift the chest. Feel the legs sliding underneath you. As if your seat is gonna come backwards underneath you and your upper body is going forward over your toes. Just stay here for a couple breaths. The knees can be gently bent, the legs remain active just for a little while. I like to really focus on hollowing out my belly and closing the space between my belly and my upper thighs. So if you can pull close enough to even touch, that would be great. If not, no worries. Just notice what kind of space you have, what you are working with. And notice if you're rounding or if your chest is coming forward and your low back is rounding alone. There's no right or wrong way to do this as long as you're paying attention to where you are and what you're feeling. There's 3 more breaths exactly as you are. Those are long Lutz's breath cycles. Last one big inhale, fill your body completely, and then slowly release over your legs. Drop the head and the neck. Maybe a slight adjustment of the leg if you need to give them a little bit of a space, that's quite alright. But as best as you can, soften. What you could also do, if this is extremely uncomfortable, is you could put your block right in between your shins to put your forehead on it, on whatever height, right, works. So for example, this way. But ideally, I would recommend that only if you're extremely uncomfortable folding as you are, because then the block will prevent you from going deeper as we sit here unless you adjust it. And I believe last week it was Kara who posted a picture of fold that we did in the beginning with feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana legs, and her head in the beginning was way higher and at the end it was way lower, and I loved it, and she was like, yep, gravity totally works. She's like, and I'm like, yes. And it's really interesting, I always say this, we feel like we're not really doing much here, but you're doing oh so plenty of work happening here, simply folding over your legs. I just noticed I was holding tension in my shoulders. So I was kind of pulling them in towards each other, even though I felt pretty relaxed, and then I realized that there's tension. If you would please keep scanning your body for any kind of tension that is preventing you from leaning in further into the posture. Continuously checking in with the jaw and inside of your mouth. Notice anything across the back side, the legs, the QLs, lower back, each side. Any of the spine erectors. Soften the face. Stay with the breath. I go back to the shoulders because the tension keeps creeping back, in my case. So I just keep checking back, and every time I return, the tension is back in, so I have to release it again. After you complete your next exhale, slowly begin to rise. I feel like that was not long enough, even though it was 5 minutes. Yeah. So just notice as you come back up where you find yourself. And then bend your knees, swing your legs behind you, and find your way to tabletop. Just very, very gentle drop the belly down. Pause there. Maybe move the head a tad side to side. And then chin into the chest round. And as you find your way to cat, maybe you shift slightly forward and backwards. Maybe. Finding a neutral again. The right leg is going to step, move your right hand slightly further in towards the center and step your right foot right on outside of your right hand. And the left knee stays down and can stay down unless you want to lift up on it. We'll start here. Again, blocks can be very useful here as we lower a little further down. Maybe the forehead comes on the block, or maybe you can even support your knee if you need to bring that leg a little higher. I don't really like doing that. Or maybe the block comes underneath your left forearm if the forearms don't go far enough down, so you can get a little bit of a height and still come down onto your forearms. Now as you start, notice what the right knee is doing. If it's hugging in towards the right shoulder, depending on how far you have your foot out, or again, neither one is incorrect, just depends which way you want to go about it. You can also roll your right foot slightly on the outer edge and just let the knee completely splay out. Again, either one is getting into a little different area, so you just pick your poison and settle in. As best as you can to create some space for your neck and drop the head and neck down. Notice what's happening with the shoulder blades. I like to push up off of my arms a little bit just to create a little doming through the upper back. You don't have to do that, but again, it's all about noticing where your body is and how you would like it to be. So obviously the stretch here is mostly for the legs, but I do like to kind of push a little bit up through my forearms too. I just don't like dropping into my shoulders, so as long as there's awareness around where your body is sitting and how you want to go about it is ultimately where I would love you to be. Just kind of notice what you're doing. Body awareness. For me anyway, big part of Yin practice is trying to figure it out. What am I doing where? Besides finding more space through all kinds of areas. If you need to tap into a little stronger breath here, go right ahead. This is not an exactly comfortable place to be. So just know that the breath is there for you if you need it. And then when you feel like you're solid, you return back to natural breath. Finish your exhale completely, slowly. Come up on, if you're on your forearms, come back up on your extended arms. And then release a little bit as if you were gonna go to half splits, but you're not quite gonna go there. So you're gonna keep your hips just above your knee, just to stretch the right leg a bit. Release the left groin and hip flexor. Pausing there. And then whenever you feel ready and back to normal, you're gonna slide your right foot back down onto into tabletop. And drop the belly down again. Just a very, very slow little move through the spine and cat. And then back to neutral. Left leg is going to step out and front. And again, just notice how you want to go about it. If you want to put your foot slightly further out and roll it out, or if you want to keep it a little closer in, bringing the knee a little closer in towards the left shoulder. If you have a block, maybe forearms on the block or all the way down. Hopefully by now you ordered some blocks on Amazon. Even though I actually wanted to order some more, even though I have 4, and they were on delivery for like end of May or something crazy. I guess yoga blocks are not considered essential items. I don't know, I think I could make quite the compelling argument for yoga blocks being an essential item. But that's just me. Alright, settle in slowly. Notice that where the posture starts is not where it ends. It always evolves. Notice 2 sides of the body are very different. This side may be way more tolerable than the other one, or maybe not. Maybe quite the opposite. This one's way better for me. But again, your goal is staying with your body, paying attention to where things are moving, where are you leaning, how are you engaging, where can you soften, where can you breathe into, building a greater sense of body awareness, breath awareness, maybe building a sense of little extra patience. I was gonna say, I hope I started the timer. I did. Notice where your mind goes. Notice if your mind just goes on away onto a journey. And if that happens, gently redirect your attention back to your body. Start scanning the body. Again, tuning into sensations. Letting gravity pulling you down, tuning into the pull of gravity. Complete your next exhale. If you're on your forearms, slowly finding your way onto your extended arms. And then very slowly and gently shift your weight backwards. So your right hip aligns over your right knee and you pause there. sensations returning back. Move your block. Notice. Beautiful. And then when you're ready to move, the left leg slides back. You're in tabletop again. And then very, very gently and slowly the belly drops down again. And then you round. From here the knees will go back wide, wider than you would normally go to child's pose. If you could try to find a little wider place for your knees, but you are going to child's pose. Just a little wider one, if you can. If not, no worries. Regular child's pose will do. It's just a matter of noticing if you have a little more space through your knees, but I don't want to quite go to frog. I still want your hips back on your heels. Just kind of noticing if there's a little extra space to be explored. And then long through the arms will do just great for now. So notice we're getting nice and heavy into the hips today. But I do have a good reward for you. I always have a good reward for you. There's always something that's a little yummier than the other things. Notice how you're engaging with this posture. Notice how long your arms are, or whether they're a little more bent. Notice the pressure, if you will, through the groins and the hips, inner thighs perhaps. Notice how the back reacts to this. Again, softening into the gravity as best as you can. Stay with the breath. Keep close eye on the body. Keep scanning the body. Top of the head through the face, back of the neck, through the shoulders, through your back, through your collarbones, chest and heart space, through your belly and midsection in your low back, down through the hips, the groins, the inner thighs, the glutes, quads and the hamstrings, knees, shins and the calves, feet, ankles. Notice where you are. Complete your exhale. And slowly lift your hips. just sitting your butt sideways. Your knees are pointing off to your left. Now, I'm gonna do without a bolster, but you take a bolster because I don't know if everybody has a bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, maybe a couple pillows, but you don't need it either. I like to put my feet separate, not on top of each other. So the left leg is kind of out in the back a little bit, the right leg is right here. I like to keep my thigh parallel. And then you're gonna twist off towards the front of your space. You hug the bolster, yeah, nice in. And then you can start just laying sideways, just extending your arm long, just finding a way to here, and that may be enough. The next step would be a little bit more of a twist down, and then face is still off to your left. And then maybe cactus your arms. If you have the bolster, you're just hugging the bolster. And then maybe this is where you stay. And if you have even further more, you lift up even a little more and you take the gaze all the way off to your left. So if you do have the bolster, this is a super, super yummy place to be. I would lend you mine, but I don't know where you are. Also don't know if bolsters are considered non-essential items. Notice where the spine is twisting. Notice if you can feel a little reach through the crown of the head to wring out the spine a little bit more. But then again, you're softening, pulling into gravity, letting gravity do its work for you. You just open the door, and then gravity picks you up and carries you over the doorstep. Keep scanning for any tension, and release that if you can, if you figure it out how. Again, try to let go of the notion that you're not doing anything, you're doing plenty. enough time today. That's alright. Some days are like that. If you would complete your exhale, and then slowly use your arms. Very mindfully and gently, you're going to come back up. You're going to sit all the way back up. And then you're going to simply lift your knees. Turn around to the other side. Maybe readjust the bolster if you have it. Readjust the legs a tad. And then slowly starting your journey back down. Again, 3 possible options. You can simply stay laying on your left side. You can use your arm underneath you. If that doesn't seem like enough, you can lift up a little bit and come straight down with your gaze off towards where your legs are, so same side as the legs. And the third most twist would be gaze going away from the legs. You can take your time to settle in, give the posture a little bit of a space to show up. Settling into the pull of gravity. Scanning body, looking for any tightness, looking for any sensations. Stay with the breath. Notice where the mind goes. Notice any kind of struggle that may be showing up, whether it's from a discomfort in your body or whether it's from the notion that you're not doing enough, that this is not enough of an exercise, or anything else that may be entering your space, maybe from earlier, from work, or later, or even tomorrow. Again, noticing the difference between sides also. Perhaps you seem more comfy on this side. Notice where you find yourself, if you're ready to move or not. If you would complete your exhale again before you do start moving. Using your arms to slowly lift yourself back up. Leaving the bolster, if you have it, exactly as it is. Finding your way around. And just keep it this way. So feet come in towards each other. And now I'm gonna put mine back there too. Just because it feels so good on the chest. So again, propping it up. And then slowly laying down. Supta Baddha Konasana, opening beautifully through the chest, letting the shoulders open. Feel free to lift up the hips as you lay back to kind of release any additional pressure there. Well, at least that's what I like to do. It just seems, for me, for my body, I have a better tendency to settle in because I do have a sensitive low back a little bit. So I do like to kind of adjust that way, and it seems to work for me. So whatever you need to do to kind of settle in, and then opening nicely through the chest. Soften the arms, soften the face. Notice if you need to pull the legs a little further away from the seat or a little closer in towards the seat, whatever feels better for you. Again, you can do this easily without a bolster, not a problem. It just gives you the little nice extra opening through the chest. Release from through the pecs. Yeah. So bring your child to work kind of a day.
Always like a couple
And bring your cat to work. Feel the breath. Notice the breath coming in and out. Let the lungs open. Let the heart shine through. Give your heart a little extra space here. Very vulnerable posture for the heart, for sure. Feel the heaviness through the arms. Let the knees drop wide. Soften the face. Soften the jaw, the inside of your mouth. You can stay exactly as you are. If you'd like to add, and I am doing this because I know Robbie really loves restorative bridge. If you'd like to move from here to restorative bridge, you are more than welcome to do so. If you're doing that, maybe just help the knees come together. If you're on a bolster, move away, roll away from the bolster, or use it instead of the block. Or just take a block, put it underneath the sacrum. You're looking for same opening through the chest. Heaviness through the hips. You can always extend the legs if you're up for that. Wherever you are, if you'd like to find your way into traditional Shavasana. Again, the movement is very slow and mindful, very gentle, allowing the sensations to come back as you gently remove yourself off of any props. If you want to stay on props, that's fine too. Letting the feet go long, wide. Notice the shoulder blades, adjust them just right. You don't want too much air in between your shoulder blades. But you still like to keep the collarbones nice and wide and open. Again, wiggle out the jaw, soften the face. Soften the inside of your mouth. Take a moment, let the body completely release into the earth. Heavy through the bones, release all the muscles. Any tension, anything that remains, try to let go. And the mind scanning the body head to toe and back. Notice the heaviness spreading through the limbs. Notice the gravity pull and your resistance or surrender. Notice the breath as it comes in and out on its own. Notice the subtle and continuous movement through your body. Seemingly still, your heart is still beating, your breath still comes in and out. Your blood is still flowing through the body. Plenty of movement. Gravity continuously pulling you down towards the earth, one tiny millimeter at a time. My Instagram friends, take as long as you need in Shavasana. When you get yourself out of Shavasana, please do me a favor and come back. I'm gonna start a new live stream right away. Do come back for a short meditation.